Hi there, my name is Lee Manson and I'm an electrical design engineer for EDF Energy, who operate and own all current nuclear power plants in the UK, and are currently building the first new nuclear power plant for many years in Hinkley Point C, and are looking to build one in Sizewell C. I was interested in working as an electrical engineer because when I left school I started an apprenticeship in electrical engineering as an electrician, technician, and after a few years I quit to go into installing power systems and PA systems and sound effects and disco lighting in nightclubs because I thought it was a bit cooler and a bit better, but unfortunately I never finished my time out as an electrician. So many years later I was working as a manager in a cinema and I realised that I wasn't interested in my job anymore. I wanted a change. So I handed my notice in and I decided to retrain. And at that point I remembered how much I enjoyed being an electrician and I was interested in electrical engineering still. And also at the time I was thinking what will always be required as a job, which I thought was quite useful, and I was just giving myself that a bit further, what will never go anywhere. And electricity is something that we use every day as a secondary form of power, which basically means it's created using other energy, and it's everywhere in your house, from charging your electrical devices to the lights that you used to see. So I went back to college, and due to the length of time, I was 32 at the time and I'd been a long time out of school. So as a mature student I did my NC at college, followed by my HNC, my HND. My HNC I had to sit twice because I failed it the first time. I wasn't providing enough focus or energy on it. I was too busy working to trying to pay the bills, and I had to go back and resit it. And I ended up finished my HND, and then I realised I could join Glasgow Caledonian Uni for an electrical power engineering degree at the third year, which I did, and it was a pretty tough year because the jump from college to uni is quite big. Piece of advice I would give myself would be to take that extra year and to go into second year perhaps, to give you that fundamental base for third year and then obviously the honours year following. At that point I'd completed third year, and through the uni I was given fantastic opportunities, an industrial placement working for EDF Energy. An industrial placement is a 12-month work experience programme where you're paid a wage, pretty substantial. At the time it was just under 17 grand for the year. It's not a lot for the job that you're doing, but not having any experience and being taught while you're there, it was a fantastic opportunity. And through that I was able to continue working with the company as a contractor while I went back to complete my honours year. So I did 4 days per week working for EDF full time, and normal 95 hours. And then I spent 2 days at university, one day doing all my classes and another day doing all the work, as well as working in the evenings. It was a pretty tough year. Again, if I had the opportunity to not have to work and just focus on uni, then that would be easier overall to achieve the first class degree that I did, which was fantastic. I was very proud and also quite fortunate that I was working with some fantastic engineers that were able to help me. So the work experience was tremendous. I learnt more in that first 12 months working with EDF about the actual role and the tasks involved than I did with anyone else through the whole college and university path. And then I was able to join as a full-time electrical engineer. The favourite part of my job is that I'm continuously learning. Everything I do has a new aspect that requires learning something new about the job or something new about the plant that I'm looking to work with. So it feels like I'm still in college and university to a point, which I quite enjoyed. You might not enjoy the academic side of it, which I particularly did. So one of the reasons I love my job is that I continuously learn, and I'm learning more and more as things improve over time, and as new discoveries from the scientific side improve how we do our job, such as monitoring and testing of our electrical plant to make sure that it's safe and reliable and efficient. When I chose this position, when I chose this role, I had no idea about electrical engineering really. I knew that it was to do with the generation, distribution and transmission of electrical power from the power station or the wind farm or the solar panel to your house, to the plugs and the sockets and the lights that you use, and the switches etc. within your house to power your everyday life, but also to industry, and the power that they use to make and create the things that we use and consume. But the actual role can vary depending on where you are. You could end up working in the tools, in a wind farm in the north of Scotland. You could end up in an office looking at design, drawings and standards, international or national standards, to help you design and plan a new electrical structure or system. You may end up working as a specialist in an area, so whether it's in the factory or in the design area or on the location, building or testing or taking apart power transformers, cables, working with uninterruptible power supplies that have a lot of battery involvement, DC systems, AC systems. There's a lot to it. The best advice I can give is to think about what you would like to do on a daily basis and pick a job or a role that provides you that. Look how far ahead you have to go to get to that position and look at all the different steps to achieve what you want, and then focus on the first step. So I wanted to be an electrical engineer working for a company, working with large power technology, heavy electrical they call it, high voltage, anything from 3-phase upwards. But even though we work in a power station, people still have to use the canteen, have to use the lift, have to use the PC equipment. So I'm working with 50 volt DC batteries all the way up to 400 kV connections where they join the national grid. And I knew that I had to get a degree to get there. Initially I felt I would get my NC, my HNC, and then try and get a trainee position or an apprenticeship to get me on the tools to work my way up to that point. However, it worked out better, and just from circumstances, that I got a degree and started working as a design engineer. But there are a variety of paths, but the first step I knew I had to do was to complete my NC, and to do that you've got to apply. So pick a path. At any point during that path you decide it's not for you, you can take what you've learned and use that to step sideways or diagonally into a different position and still use the NC or the HNC or the HND that you have. It's never too late. I've proven that at the age of 32. I started the journey and I graduated last year with a first class honours degree at the age of 40. So there is plenty of time. If you have any questions or queries or anything else that I can help you or any of your classmates with, please contact Smart STEMs through your teachers, and they'll pass me the questions along and I will send the answers back through them. And thank you very much for taking the time to listen to my journey. Thank you.